Welcome to another YouTube video, this time looking at French provincial graveyards and cemeteries, photographs that I've taken around the countryside, mainly in the Dordogne and some in Normandy. This is the large municipal cemetery overlooking Sarlat. From a distance it looks like an allotment with lots of little greenhouses, but on closer inspection it's much more interesting than that. Here in the winter months, the glass structures are keeping the worst of the wet weather off the tombs. A lot of care goes into the upkeep of each of these graves, and you can see interesting filigree metalwork. I really like the way that the glass on the roof has got scalloped edges. Here on this family grave we've got an impressive stone cross and then another 6 crucifixes. The flowers generally are either plastic or the ones that are in the foreground there are ceramic, and that ensures that at least there's some shape and colour when the heat of the summer bakes down onto the surface there. And other stones have got again a wide range of crucifixes, all sorts of sizes. Here an impressive cross for this family. We've got the shadow behind giving another variant, and then same thing in the background with some of the other crosses. In the older part of the cemetery we have this very impressive Egyptian style pyramid, the tomb of General Fournier. It looks as though probably a bronze medallion was above the on the pediment there, but has long since been removed. And elsewhere, um, the military, the history of this part of France. Again, we've got these ceramic flowers providing continuing colour. And again, the colourful plastic flowers, in addition, just sort of lighten this up a bit. And then with more modern technology on some of the graves, we've got a depiction of the member of the family that's being celebrated there, and some idea of the sorts of lifestyle they enjoyed. And because this is very much an agricultural area, it's unsurprising that we've got depiction of farming and cropping, but this one's got an awful lot of detail with the barbed wire there in the foreground, right the way out to the detail of the tractor there in the background. And again, a stylized tractor here. I quite was drawn to the vegetation that had been added, and it's come to harvest time and it's all dried out. And for this member of the family, it appears that football was very much an enjoyable recreation. Elsewhere, an impressive runner. And then this very modern depiction of a motorcyclist with his full-faced helmet celebrates this member of the family. Unsurprisingly, we find depictions of Christ well throughout the cemeteries and graveyards. Here I like the addition of the reflection of the cross on the polished stone. And this perhaps a 1930s carving with an awful lot more detail, a very impressive piece of work. And then the crucifixes, and again perhaps a certain sort of reflection of that in the upper part of the image. And this with Christ with the crown of thorns, I was quite drawn to the plastic chrysanthemums and a little spot of colour there that is complementary, I think. And then moving on to images that you find. Uh, this is one of the depictions of Christ that has fallen from the crucifix, and the piece of rusting wire around it. Again, a little nod perhaps to the crown of thorns again. Here perhaps we've got Mary in a bottle. The bottle is just put over the little statuette to provide protection from the weather. And a little bit like one of the snow globes, perhaps elsewhere in the cemetery, crucifix, again within this glass bowl to provide protection. And then getting in a little more detail, I saw this particular image and it made me think about the one on the right. That's Andre Serrano's Immersions image, very much at the centre of photography in terms of art and censorship. So it's worth reading up about that to see how that image was banned in many places in America. And then, because the sunlight is so powerful, fresh flowers don't stand up to the rigours of the environment. And here we've got plastic and lots of colourful materials that have been used to make this artificial bouquet. But through time, they get bleached and the dyes change in terms of the colours that remain. Generally, the blues and the purples remain. The yellows and reds get quite bleached out. Gives a different perspective to that was originally intended. And on a number of the graves, an awful lot of intricate beadwork. And again, these beads are colourful, give the idea of flowers, but can withstand the heat and the sunlight rather better. And you get interesting shapes and textures, and they weather again a little bit and weather in, I think, with the stone in the background. And we've got some rusting metalwork there as well. And another little flower. And those are parts of detail. But here we can see the much larger display and we've got ceramic flowers in there as well, and that's been there for quite some time. You can see the lichen has attached itself to the ceramic flowers, and slowly it's starting to decay. It's changing its appearance through time. And again, the ceramic flowers with a wrought iron cross in the countryside here in the Dordogne, and you can make out lots of other iron crosses as well in this particular graveyard. And here we've got another metal cross, and the vegetation has certainly taken to growing up and over this, and it reminded me very much of this particular image on the right hand side, which was from Arness Vale, that made me think of Mother Earth overtaking the pieces of concrete there and reclaiming um, all of that materials. Similar sort of thing on the left hand side. The cross stands proudly there, but the vegetation is slowly engulfing it. And in places you do find where fresh flowers have been put onto graves. Here, those flowers have suffered the heat over a few weeks, perhaps, and just the neglect and the change in colour and texture from a photographic perspective, it draws the eye and is quite interesting. I quite like the silver coated jar that contained water, but all of that has been evaporated out. And in other churchyards, we get quite a few ceramic representations of the people who are buried there. And this one, on first glance, looked a little bit like a ribbon, where from the upper brass part of the fixtures, we've got a little bit of erosion, and some verdigris has leached out and provided that sort of colour. So that's quite an old depiction. Here we've got a man on the left hand side, forever young in this depiction. The black and white of the photographic image there, complemented by the colours of the lichens that we're starting to get building up on the surface of the stone. And here, this couple, someone has gone to the effort of painting in the carved names of these people in gold paint. But again, we've got the ceramic flowers there providing a certain robustness against the environment. It appears that the image there of Rene is quite strong, but poor Marie is decaying away rather quicker. And celebrating the life up to the age of 21 of Claudine. Whereas at Sarlat we've got what appears to be a very large allotment area, in smaller villages around the Dordogne, you come across what appear to be individual greenhouses, and this one here is a family memorial just on the side of the road. And right hand side of the picture, we've got frosted glass and those roses, and your eye can get drawn to the wonderful shapes and texture and the changing colour that you get of these plastic roses as seen through the frosted glass. Another image of Christ with his crown of thorns, and here regrets in a book style ceramic, some very bright blue flowers, but as you see on the right hand side, the eye quickly reads all of the letters that should be there, but one of them is missing. um, and here we've got another embellishment of one of the gravestones, and this, I'm not sure whether he's a bronze medal winner for his vegetables, or whether that's just the manufacturer wanting to point out how he's what this is manufactured from. But a number of these little tokens on the tops of tombs are dried flowers encased in a plastic material, and this one is starting to show the degradation of the plastic. It's started to go a little cloudy right the way through to here. The metal on the outside of the plastic is still in good order, but the plastic itself has become so degraded with the sun that you can't really see any detail of the flowers that were encased there in the first place. And then finally on this little talk, again, regrets on a piece of stone. As this has been weathered, you get this removal of the surface material from the right down to the left. Again, changing through time, it's decaying away, and that's a little bit of what you find in churchyards. So that was a quick run through a number of places in France.